Because I think Charlotte is a woman who walks the walk. She's about empowering women. What you've done for the industry has been spectacular. She's a true inspiration, and I'm very grateful that she got to come and speak to us today.
So I launched like a very similar magazine to what I'd been publishing, and they had to shut theirs within 6 months. So that was really good, you know. So. Now this was a hard bit for me. So as my business grew, we did an exhibition, we did awards, you know, so the format that I've always sort of put through life is, you know, once you've got one magazine to do the awards, to do the, you know, the conference and things. So I was really heavily pregnant, and I was in this room in Birmingham, I think it was at the Belfry, and there was all these men just staring out at me. And I'd always been fine with public speaking. It was always easy for me, being so confident. And then I could see them all staring as if, what is she doing there? She needs to go home. She should be, she shouldn't be here. And that, I'm sure they didn't feel like that, but that's how it made me feel. And then from there on, I found it really, really difficult to get my words out, to speak, to even present. So the fear stayed with me for a very long time, and I think even people that have known me a long time will know that I've struggled, like with awards dinners and things, where I've had to give you know, presentations and things. So basically, but here's the truth, maybe we don't ever get over our fears. I think that what I do is I just say, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. And I think the more that you do that, the more that you're going to increase your, you know, your confidence. And also, come on, how many celebrities have we seen on TV like mess up? How many influencers have we seen, you know, that have lost their train of thought or whatever it might be? And I think that's really important, that you just say, fuck it. Or, sorry, back potty mouth. Right, so who here breaks into a cold sweat? Obviously not Richard. You do. Yeah, the thought of like doing Instagram lives. No, I'm surprised at that you break into a cold sweat with it, do you? Oh, that's good. See, that's good to hear. And you did a lovely talk this morning, so... and speaking gigs, we're expected to perform constantly as women, aren't we? And some days, gosh, we don't feel like it, do we? We don't feel like going on an Instagram live. But what I've noticed over the last 3 or 4 years since I've been doing them is just do it. You know, it's that just do it. You know, you will get used to doing it. But then on the other hand, it is a juggling act with everything, isn't it? And that juggling act, we all juggle a lot of balls. And can we really have it all? Now, this is the thing. I don't think we can, okay? I really don't, because I've been there, I've had the business, I've had the, you know, the young children, and I had to sell the business in the end from, you know, for my own mental health. And I know, especially nowadays, that we all, you know, we've all got mental health issues. I'm sure it's Mental Health Week this week, isn't it? And we did a video at work just to go around to everybody that works in our office building. And, you know, every single person, wasn't one person who said, oh no, can't do this, I haven't got any mental health issues. You know, we've all got that to deal with as well, haven't we? So do you think that we can really have it all?
I think sometimes you do well at one thing, so business is going well. But
yeah.
I forgot to wash the kids' PE stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's about, and I think that's the thing. It's about getting that balance right of wanting to run a successful business. You know, taking the time out for yourself. And this is the thing about you knowing your balls and knowing what's important. Whose balls are you holding? Well, hopefully your own, because you've probably got more balls than the other half, to be fair. So one of the things that Dr. Anitu, who is a fantastic menopause specialist that I work with, and her dad is actually a preacher, a church preacher, and when she speaks in the room, everyone's like, amen, you can't help it, like it's just like literally. So she did a talk recently at Home House for me about glass balls, and it was really, really interesting because everyone in that room, all the businesswomen, totally got what she was trying to say, that we've all got all of these glass balls that we're really attached to, You know, and as you just mentioned, that, you know, being a mum or whatever it might be, being a, you know, a daughter, whatever, you know, an auntie, whatever, you've got all of these different balls, you've got your business balls, you hold on to them so tight that you're going to end up breaking all of them. So this is the thing, you need to work out which ones you can bounce down and drop, okay? Now, there was a woman who was a real high flyer in this group, and she said, well, I don't want to drop any of my balls. You know, I've got to keep all my glass balls. And she, in the end, where we were speaking to her, we said, look, come and speak to us after and, you know, and book him for a consultation, because that's not right. You can bounce balls down and you can delegate balls. Now, I know that sounds, it's very hard to delegate your balls, isn't it? I mean, literally, very hard to delegate as a businesswoman sometimes. Who struggles with delegation here? Oh, there you go. I thought you might be, because you really look powerful. I'm looking after everything. But at least, do you know what? That's good, though, that you can see that. And again, it is hard to delegate. I find it very hard to delegate. But it's delegating those balls that you can bounce down, the social media, whatever it might be, that you know that that's not your forte. You want to be in front of your, you know, your patients. You want to be doing what you do best, sort of thing. So I think that's the thing, learning the difference and prioritising the values of those balls. You're going to be able to pick up those ones that you've bounced back down. You know, I know that every single woman in here will be able to do that, but it's not taking on other people's balls either, because unfortunately, as a woman, we do end up taking responsibility for everything. And that's the way that we've always been, you know, I suppose, programmed to. So what we need to do is reprogram ourselves and say, look, do you know what? I'm not responsible for all of your balls. I got my own, and I've dropped a couple of those, which has given me space. And I think that's really important. Oh, I said that, didn't I? Whose balls are you holding? And it's all about managing, you know, your own expectations on yourself. And I think all of us as women set high expectations on ourselves, but also managing other people's expectations of yourself. You know, we've got so much going on up there, haven't we? And, you know, we've also got the joys of hormones, you know, and if you're living in a house where you've got other hormones going on, that's fun and games, isn't it? That's for sure. Okay, so what we're just talking about, expectation overload, business, home, family, fitness, mental health. How many of you here would like to go to the gym more? Yeah, you see, look. And how many excuses do we make to ourselves? Oh, I can't. She's like this. I think that's, do you know what? We're all like that. But rather than saying, oh, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, I'm going to do this, maybe we look at how we do that. Like, I have a personal trainer. Now, the only reason I have that is because if I don't have it, I won't train. And I've tried not having it, but that is money well spent, because it means I've got to get up at 6 o'clock. And yes, it's shit on a Tuesday and Thursday getting up at 6 o'clock, but it's done. And then I'm not saying to myself, oh, you know, you've been so lazy, you haven't been to the gym, blah, blah, blah. So it's prioritising those things that are really important to you. And when you think about all of the things, you know, us women have to deal with, and yes, I do want to come back as a man, because it probably took Richard, 5-10 minutes to get ready this morning? Well, I don't know, half an hour? Yeah. And then we've got all of those added of how we look, how, you know, how we feel. We've got to wear the right clothes. We've got to, you know, we've got to do the washing. We've got to think about all of those things. And I know we are living, and I sound like I'm sort of, you know, man-hating here. That's not the truth. I think men these days, they do a hell of a lot, and it is much more shared. I think it's how we think as women that we've got to be picking up the kids from school. We've got to be making sure that we're the ones that provide the lunch box, you know, and that's what we're talking about, delegation, you know, in your home life as well as your business life. It's really important. I'm really shocked, okay, as well. I mean, my kids are all grown up now, but some of my friends that have got younger children that don't do any chores at all, okay? And I just think, come on, I've been reading about the fact that if you do chores, you're more likely to go on to be a business person, to be, you know, have entrepreneurial skills, and it's really important. I think maybe what we do tend to do as well, because we're working women, and I did this a lot in my career, is what we do is we spoil. We make, you know, we want to spoil them when we've got them, because we feel guilty. So you've got all of this guilt that you're living with. But actually what we should be doing is putting that groundwork into them, like we had, like, you know, earning your own money, understanding your chores and things like that. And I think not all of you are going to have children here, but I think, you know, it's just making sure that we work out what ones of these are important at what times. Because like you said, Claire, I think sometimes you can be doing really well in business and then, you know, you don't, your partner, you want to smash his face in or whatever it might be, which, let's say, you know, so you can never quite get the balance right, can you? Okay, so these are my top tips, okay, and I'm allowed to have top tips when you get in your 50s, you can do the top tips. So date night. Now, whether that be with a partner, I used to love going on a date night once a week, and I still do. We try and do it once a week, go and have dinner, even though we're both knackered, we go out. But also having a date night for yourself, okay? You don't have to have a date night with someone else. Just doing what you want to do and enjoying it and relaxing and just taking some time out for yourself. Now, I'm going to go on about hormones because obviously that's my thing. So I will say as well, all of us here as women, even if we're not perimenopause, check your hormones, your health. Put your health first. How many times do we think we know that something's wrong and we don't make an appointment at the GP because we're too busy? We've got all of those other balls, but your health is the most important thing to you, to your family, and you know, to everyone around you. And I would also say, one of the things I did recently, which I thought, gosh, I'm so glad I did this, was a business MOT. Now, I'm sure there's companies out there that can do it for you, but if you do it yourself, you get a really good understanding. The bigger your business gets sometimes, you don't know some of the things that are going on in it. So review all your subscriptions and services, check your bank statements. I mean, we're terrible I am, and I know lots of friends are, that just checking your own personal bank sometimes. And we found direct debits on there as a company that I didn't know were there, you know, and save money where you can, because at the moment, running a clinic is hard work. You know, running a small business is hard work. You've got all of the, you know, the costs have gone up, but we can't put our prices up for our patients because at the end of the day, no one's got that disposable income. So just when you get back, do a business MOT or ask your accountant to do it or your 9-year-old son or whoever, but just make sure you do a business MOT. Social media. Now, who does their own social media in here? Okay, well, that's good to know. Well, well done you, but I mean, you can outsource it, you know, if it's too much for you. When you're getting to a point when you're running a new business, like some people are, and it's doing really well, you can't keep hold of everything. It's, you know, you're going to be keeping hold of too many balls again. So you can do what you do best, and there's lots of places you can sort of outsource it to. This is I'm going to be really quick because I'm a bit worried about time now as well. Are you sure?
Don't worry about time, Charlotte.
Are you sure? Emotional staffing. Who's responsible for that here? So when I wrote this slide, which was a few weeks ago, I did actually think to myself, oh my gosh, this is me. I need to make some changes in my own structure. And I have made those changes. So, you know, recheck yourselves when you've done your business MOT. Have a look at the staff. How are they performing? You know, could you have better staff? Have you got an emotional attachment to them? As women, again, we do tend to have more of an emotional attachment than, say, a man would running a business. And I personally have kept too many team members out of guilt or compassion and care. But, you know, we're not running a charity, we're running a business, and I think that's really important, especially at the moment. You can't carry dead wood. You do need to look at what everyone's doing and how they're performing. I think that's really important. Oh, sorry, I'm going to kiss the microphone. Future proofing. Now, I know that Richard touched on this earlier, didn't you? Where's the industry going? And I can tell you I'm very good at looking at the industry movements. We do quite a lot of research into the market, and we know that the industry is going more into longevity, wellness, functional medicine, testing, which is a great thing you can offer in your clinic, really easy thing to do. And you can tell a lot from that, and personalised prescriptions and all sorts of things, and menopause pathways. So what I would say is, in fact, me and Susan were having a conversation about this. When I had my clinic in 2017 in Leigh-on-Sea in Essex, we had a menopause clinic there, okay? But what we did, we pathwayed pretty much everything out. So we had a gynae that we would pathway out to, we had a mental health expert that we'd pathway out to, and we set up programs. So when we knew that one of our patients was perimenopausal, yes, we'd get them tested in-house, doctor-led in-house, and then when that would set these pathways up, and that worked really well. So you don't have to, because these things are going to be really interesting and they're going to give you more of an edge if you're looking after them. Do try and set up some pathways. I know there's some brilliant clinics in every county that do look after intimate health treatments and things like that you might not want to do yourself. I mean, you can do them, you know, obviously if you're medically trained. And regenerative medicine. I mean, how many of you girls are doing regenerative medicine? Okay. No polynucleotides or... Yeah, okay. That's interesting. And exosomes, are you... Oh, good. Yeah. So I think the way that the market is going is we're going to a different audience. We're not trying to compete with people doing Botox in Chinese restaurants for 25 quid. You know, those days, I've seen them. They're hopefully well and truly over. But what we can do as specialists, whether it be beauty or aesthetics, is to offer some of these, you know, pathways and treatments. So we're really looking after our patients. Be patient focused. Oh, there you go. I did my own slide without even looking. Yeah, and understanding the whole journey. You know, don't need to do everything in-house. Offer solutions, not just services. And I think people really respect you for that. The amount of women that I've helped over the last sort of 4 years with the menopause gives me so much happiness and joy to be really helping women. And know your unique value. I think that's really important. What makes you different? You know, obviously, we were talking about earlier about suffering with imposter syndrome, which I think we all do at any time. And I know some of the top doctors that I'm friends with, you know, they have their times where they really sort of struggle. So don't think that you're alone. I know you're going to offer good customer care because you're all here today. And, you know, make that real connection by really knowing your patient or your client and what, you know, listen to them. I think that's really important. And final words, you're special, and I can tell you're all special in your own ways. Your skills matter, and I'm sure you've all got really good skill sets, but as I say, with the glass ball thing, I think it's really important to make sure that you're homing those skills and using your balls to the best of your ability. Empower others by showing what's possible. And this is my favourite one, walk the walk, don't just talk the talk, because so many people do, and I think that's really important. And there you go. Know your glass balls. Let the bouncy ones bounce, and focus on you. Thank you so much. And just to let you know, I've got a pack for each individual here. And if you could share these, because this is our event, which is non-profit, Pause Live, and...
It's on the next slide as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't I put it on there? Oh yeah, let's lift each other up.
Oh, wait, I've been the wrong way.
There you go. Yes, I've got a pack, so if anyone wants one, please come and get it. Thank you so much.
Has anybody got any questions?
Oh, sorry.
Has anybody got any questions for Charlotte? I didn't get the opportunity to introduce her, and I really, really wanted to, because I think Charlotte is a woman who walks the walk. She's about empowering women. What you've done for the industry over the years has been spectacular. She's a true inspiration, and I'm very grateful that she got to come and speak to us today.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
There's more information in your goodie bags as well, so there's leaflets about the exhibitions in your goodie bags, because we put them all in this morning.
I was just going to ask, like, if you had one tip for clinic owners that were looking to add the menopause services to their clinic, if they're thinking, oh, actually, I'd really like to, what would you suggest their first kind of move be? Because it's such a big spec.
It really does. It really does depend. I mean, I would say there's been a lot of research done recently, and hair loss is a big thing in clinics. So I would probably go for hair loss. Talk to people about the hair while you're doing their faces. It makes sense. I personally, that was one of my biggest symptoms, and I had exosomes, which worked so well for me. So now again, a lot of women don't know about these treatments. It's up to us to let them, you know, to let them know. So yeah, hair's a good one. Skin, I mean, dry skin's are, awful. And then the testing is actually easier than you think, because what you could do is you can offer the testing and then get someone else, it has a professional to read it. So you don't have to actually read it yourselves, because again, you need to make sure how that's, interpreted. And I think that's really important as well.
And I think as we move into this like longevity and wellness thing, kind of, yes, blood testing profile and getting that looked at properly, things like methylation testing, looking at
genetic
testing, all these kinds of things. Either, you can buy tests and they can teach you how to read them and things like this, but I would definitely recommend getting some kind of testing into the clinic so that you can really get to the bottom of what's going on for some of your clients as well.
And I'm happy to help any clinic that wants to do that, because for me it's all about the menopausal women, helping them. So if you're not sure, we have people come to MIP, Menopause in Aesthetics, come along, and they keep coming along and they still haven't set up the pathways or done anything. And I think that's why it would be really good to sort of sit down with anyone and just say, look, these are what I would recommend. This is a start, and this is how I would social media it as well, and pick up a new audience, because it's not going to be the same audience. It's going to be a different audience than what you're used to, but it's going to be new patients and new revenue streams, which is really important. But you're also going to be helping a lot of women, and I think that's the main thing.
Emma.
These are both your events?
They are both, well, for all three of them are my events. So that's so that one's for consumers, Paul's Live. That one's for healthcare professionals, this is the new one, which is for functional medicine and longevity. But that's all about implementing it into your clinic. So again, looking for new revenue streams and how they work.
So I've done that one virtually.
Oh, okay.
Can you do that one virtually?
Yes, you can. Yeah, and you can buy a double ticket as well. The future patient one's gone crazy. I mean, I didn't realise just how much people needed that and wanted to learn more about that. But I think we all want to learn about biohacking. Especially with the NHS being in the state that it is. That as professionals, people are going to come to us. We see more women on a daily basis, don't we, than the GP would, and we're probably better well equipped to give them advice.
I think one of the things that the NHS has stopped people from doing in the UK, and I think Gen X in particular are really getting onto this, is stopping people from taking responsibility for their own health.
Yeah.
We've got to. I hate going to the doctors. I would only ever go to the doctors if I absolutely needed to. And actually, if it was really, really important for me, I'd find the money and I would go private. So I didn't have to, but not necessarily be a burden on the NHS, but I could get dealt with quickly because, I would leave it too late because I'm busy to go to the doctors and think, shit, it's an emergency now. I better go and pay somebody to do it. But it's done and out of the way. So for somebody who has been...
you've had your journey.
Biohacking for years. So I did my first 7-day fast when I was 23. So that's 26 years ago. And since then, I've always kind of looked...
And look how great she looks. I mean, you can tell, can't you? This is a woman that looks after herself.
I've had to offset damage.
Haven't we all, darling?
I know. I'm planning more damage in the future as well. I want to have a happy life. I'm planning damage, but you've got to plan how to offset that as well for longevity as well. 100%. And I think we can't and we shouldn't rely on the NHS to take care of your health. It is your responsibility, and I think there's that education piece with your clients as well and your patients that there's definitely something they can do. But I would recommend you all kind of move into some kind of testing that allows you to work better, and another revenue stream.
Yeah, definitely.
It's different to disease. Most people only will go to their doctor or nurse or something to treat disease. So my son's 30, and he's like, I'm at my testosterone tested. All his friends were all that.
Yeah.
We're all getting all this done, and they're all very proactive. That they actually want their health to be optimal.
Yeah.
He's a personal trainer.
Yeah.
He's super buff, knows bringing to his body. But all of that group are actually proactively looking after their health the best that they can.
Yeah.
Whereas I think our generation, which is only looked at the damage on
and especially your gut health as well. I mean, I can guarantee it, probably every single woman in this room has had some sort of issue with their gut health. And again, somebody was saying that you've just had your testing done, haven't you? And she's allergic to tomatoes and other things. But you don't know, do you? And you've only got to get it done once, because you're only ever going to be allergic to tomatoes once in your lifetime, and it's probably going to stay with you. But Yeah, I know, yeah. But it's something that we can really advertise in our practices quite easily. And as you say, like men, women, it doesn't have to be younger people as well. It doesn't have to be your core, target audience. So I think that's good. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Charlotte.